Alright, hey, what's going on? Welcome back. Oh, here is a little... Okay, got that sorted. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that in. That was embarrassing. But, yeah, welcome back to another Doodletown video. Today we have 4 more characters. I think they are all based on emojis today. Yeah, I just wanted that to be consistent for the YouTube title or whatever. I made some upgrades to the channel today. I hope you enjoyed them, and yeah, let's get into Doodletown. Away! Go! Go! Put in the drawings. Go! 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 All right, welcome back. Yeah, we got some color now. Very cool. And I also look. There's a little window of me drawing my little doodle Sona, I guess. Not really sure what to call it, but yeah. Just some updates to the layouts. Hopefully you like it. I don't know. I thought before the black and white was kind of nice because it very much gave like doodle, kind of like chillax. But I also thought it looked too. Like everything was too black and white. The drawing is already black and white. Like I thought color would be distracting, but actually I think the color helps you focus on the center now because the center is black and white. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Let me know if you like it. I think it'll stay regardless, but yeah, let me know. So jumping into this character, we have this comment here with a mammoth and nerdy face emoji. Off the bat, when I think of a mammoth, I kind of think just a fluffy elephant. I typically find elephants actually pretty hard to draw. Something about like the ears are like kind of like these wavy situations, but I think off the bat I always want to make them like really round. And then also there's like a trunk and there's like tusk, and I'm just like, the face is just very, very complicated. It's not like any other animal. But luckily there are ways to simplify, and many people have done so, so I kind of follow similar suit here. So far with these emoji challenges, I have run into the problem of I feel like interpreting the prompt a little too straightforward. So I was really hoping for something in this design to, I don't know, like kind of sing a bit for me. I feel like off the bat, just kind of putting the fluff on top of the head as an interpretation for woolly mammoth already goes a little bit of a way to kind of make the character a bit charming and not taking it too literal. But it also adds like kind of a lot of character to the design as well. And then I also included the buck teeth, which I didn't think I would initially, but I think because elephant usually have tusks and stuff, I thought the teeth worked really well right there. Also, I kind of like how I have the body kind of on this slant. It wasn't intentional, just the way like my drawing was going. I feel like it adds a lot of character to her. I feel like if it was very straightforward, it would be kind of, I don't know, not as appealing. I'm also really glad I went this feminine direction. I actually noticed that all the characters I made in my last video, they were all male, and I really wanted to try to force myself to do a feminine character because I feel like I do forget. Since by default, I think I do tend to make male characters. With that, we have our newest Doodletown character, Fanning. I think making her pink was definitely the call. I think that just adds to like her whimsy and takes her out of being like, again, the literal like interpretation of a woolly mammoth that is a nerd. But yeah, I think she's really cute. I really love her for the town. I think this is actually my first character that I've done based on the 2 emoji prompts that I'm really, really, really satisfied with. I think the other ones are fun, but I think this character, like, I really do like. I know she's just a nerdy pink elephant, but I feel like she just has those little qualities here and there that really make her like a character that I like. I don't know, I feel like it's really hard for me to explain like what those qualities are sometimes, but whatever they are, she has them. Also, her name is based on Elle Fanning. I don't know, I just, because Elle, elephant, and then that name association came, and I think I saw like Elle Fanning like come up like on a search term or something. I was just like, Fanning is a really cute name too, so I just thought it works out. And also if you're into Pokemon, like Fanpy is a Pokemon, so just all these things coming together, I was like, ah, perfect. So for some Fanning lore, she is gonna be the librarian for Doodletown. I just thought that was very fitting for her character. She's, you know, kind of like a nerdy vibe, and I also thought she'd just be really cute in a library. And I feel like elephants are also associated with like knowledge and wisdom a little bit. Like I think there's like a saying that like elephants like remember everything or something. But actually I thought that would be her quirk, because I think it's fun to give like characters quirks quirks here and there. So her thing is that she actually is very forgetful, even though the stereotype is that elephants are good at memory. And she has to write like everything down, which is why she carries around a little notepad. So if she loses that notepad or she misplaces it, which she often does because her memory is not so great, then she'll have a hard time doing her job, trying to help people find books or trying to figure out who checked out what. But yeah, I think it's just very cute to imagine her like having this little notepad that she keeps and she misplaces all the time, but she also needs it to do her job well. Yeah, I think it's also just like a great flaw. Like she has this flaw of like a bad memory, but she tries to make up for it by having this little notepad, even if she does misplace the notepad time to time. Yeah, that's Fanning. I am quite pleased with her and I hope you like her too. Moving on to our next resident, we have this comment here with a cat and train emoji. This comment really grabbed my attention because, I don't know, the idea of having a companion or a counterpart to Barkbot I thought was really fun. But this also got me thinking about sizing a bit because they put a cat and train emoji and I really wanted to do like a functional train character. But to me, Barkbot, even though he is part car, he is not car size. Like Barkbot is dog size. If the mayor, for example, like previously, or all the characters previously, they're like average human being like 5'6" size, then Barkbot is just like a little medium small dog. I wouldn't think of this character as a companion because this character will be a functioning vehicle that other characters can ride. They will be related in some way, and we'll get to the lore when we get there. Starting off, I really wanted to avoid doing a Thomas the Steam Engine situation. I feel like that's exactly where my mind went. Very traditional toy train type of vibe, because those have like a lot of character, and I don't know, I just didn't want to slap like a cat's face exactly where you would think it would go. Not to say that this take is like super unique, but I do like it a smidge better, I would say. Yeah, this is much more modern day, almost like bus on tracks. Which now that I think about it is also kind of like a cat bus situation, which I was also trying to avoid. Like earlier I put the eyes below, but then I just decided to make the eyes the window because it makes sense. I mean, it's been done before and it's good here. I did keep a little bit of the traditional train motif. They have like that little like rail in front that's kind of like triangle and has like slats, so I kind of did that with the mouth here, and I also just think it's like a really fun expression. And I didn't do a full-on long train because I thought the drawing would be a little repetitive and I really wanted to focus on just like this main part of the train. So yeah, this is basically the front of the train, even though I know trains can go like forward and backwards. So I guess ideally you would have this one attached on one end, and then maybe I guess that also means we can have a future character attached to the other end. But yeah, here I'm just adding a door and then a little handle to make it more train-like. I feel like I was worried that it was looking a little bit more bus than it was train, but you know, I can accept that buses also kind of look like short trains. And then I just add this little tail that also works as kind of like a hook to hook onto other train parts to elongate the train. And with that, we have our next Doodle Town character, Tom. I went with Tom because, okay, the expression was kind of giving Tom, but also Tom and Jerry, and then also Thomas the Steam Engine. I mean, I don't like to name things after them, but I think because it was related to both so well that it kind of works. Like if it was just a cat and I named it Tom, then it would be too similar to, you know, but because it's kind of a combination of both and they both have this like relation, I feel like it kind of works. Also, I like the idea of like, oh, like I gotta go catch the Tom. Like I just think that sounds kind of good. Sounds like catching the Bart if you've ever lived in the Bay Area. I also thought Tom would be good for some kind of acronym. I was thinking like transport operated meow or transit operated meow, something. I don't know. If y'all can think of something better, let me know. But I feel like Tom, it looks like an acronym. But yeah, here we have Tom. He is the train for Doodle Town, maybe one of the trains, but for now he's the only train that we've drawn. But yeah, I like him a lot. He is related to Scramble. I think they are both invented by the mayor, actually. I thought that would be kind of like a cool tie-in to our characters. As I keep drawing these characters, they keep like kind of interweaving themselves together. But yeah, I'm thinking the mayor, since he was an inventor, I think once he became mayor of the town and he really wanted to like, you know, help make the city better, he started making more things besides mayo, and he invented Scramble for security, and then he also invented Tom as a way to transport things around, like resources and people. Yeah, I think that's it. I really like Tom a lot. Actually, as of right now, Tom is like my favorite of like the emoji combinations results. I'm really happy with what I went with. I think it is kind of on the nose, but I think the execution is good and the character is really fun. And I think ultimately that always wins out, so I am very happy. Moving on to our next emoji combination, we have a turtle and clinking glasses of champagne. I chose this one because I was just like, what am I gonna do with that clinking champagne glasses? Like, I have no idea what to do with that. So I just thought it would be a good challenge because I've been kind of choosing ones that I feel like I do have a certain idea for. But yeah, off the bat, I try to focus on the champagne glasses because that's really got in my head. I mean, turtle's gonna be easy to incorporate. Yeah, I was thinking celebration. I think of someone who's clinking champagne glasses to be kind of on the older side, celebrating like retirement or like a life well lived, like that kind of vibe, which is why I went with like this bearded turtle character. And I also give him glasses as kind of like a dumb nod to like the fact that it's champagne glasses. Also, I didn't really connect the dots until later, but this guy kind of looks like Master Roshi from Dragon Ball. I didn't actually watch Dragon Ball, but I have seen that character before. But yeah, they look eerily similar, but it was not in my intention to do a turtle version of him. So yeah, my idea was kind of to do this retired turtle character. I thought it also kind of made sense because turtles are also known to live like a very long life. Also, I find turtles like really hard to draw also. Like on top of elephants, like turtles, because they have like this shell, like they're kind of like a little guy sandwiched between two shells. And I never really know how to really go about that. I saw a few of them do the thing where instead of like the arms and legs coming out like a specific hole designated for the arms, they just like kind of hang out like where the head would be, which I think is actually more realistic to an actual turtle. Yeah, I guess maybe because my reference for turtles was always Blastoise and Squirtle, who have like designated armholes. I always thought that's how turtles actually worked, but now that I've looked up a turtle, it's kind of embarrassing to realize that they all kind of have like a tube top situation. But yeah, the goal here was just to make a really cheery, happy old turtle. Also cheery. Hey, that also works into the clinking champagne glasses. So, you know, I'm forcing it a bit here, but you know, we got there. But yeah, here's our next villager, Hercules. I really like the colorway I went with. It's a little more like sandy, almost like washed out yellow, but I kind of like that vibe to it. I feel like it kind of also adds like to his age a bit. So this is Hercules. And the lore I'm thinking for him is that he was once part of a superhero defense force called Shell, and he was actually their leader, and he was probably like one of the strongest people like around at the time. He's served many years defending Doodletown from all sorts of threats and stuff. I think like his most notable accomplishment is there was like a meteor coming crashing down, and the rest of the defense force was already like really busy with another task, so he had to launch himself into the sky and beat down this meteor coming to destroy Doodletown, and he crushed it. But yeah, that's Hercules. He's a very cheery old man just celebrating life now. He's not as strong as he used to be, but still decently strong, for sure. And I'm thinking like he runs either a local gym or something, or maybe he just is just a local old happy man, and you know, he cracks jokes and he inspires like new heroes and trains them. I don't know, something. But yep, that's Hercules. Alright, moving on to our last character for today, we have this emoji combination from this comment here, which is a demon and explosion emoji. So this one was a bit of an indulgent pick. I really enjoy drawing demons. I just feel like there's a lot of things you can do with them, and there's also always the default of just like giving something a horn and boom, it's a demon. But I also thought the twist of it having an explosion, like I really wasn't sure what to do with that, so I was excited to potentially like explore that. But yeah, starting off, I went pretty straightforward here. There was this explosion shape that I also just have been really into. I really enjoyed doing like this motion like with my drawings. And then, you know, went ahead and gave it demon horns like we always do, and gave it a little devilish smile because that's kind of like my default demon face. But yeah, I go pretty traditional demon here. I think it works because something about like explosiveness and liking explosions, I think just kind of lends itself to evil little guy energy. So even though this is very like classic demon for me, I just went ahead and went full steam ahead. Also for the drawings, I've been going a lot looser with them, so the line art that you see here actually gets like touched up later when I like show the final piece at the end. I just think that makes for my drawing process to be a little bit smoother, but yeah, for those watching, if you've noticed, like for this one and for Tom, their final line art is gonna be a little different than like what you see at the end of this little time-lapse thing that I've put together for you. So how I'm picturing this face actually works is that not that he's like the spiky furball kind of character, but his face is flat and like blasted in from all the explosions he's constantly being around. And he actually has kind of like a spherical body still on the other half, kind of like Kirby-ish, but you know, with these arms and legs attached. Yeah, and then here I'm just like kind of bolstering out some of the spiky bits because I feel like it's played a little too down. And yeah, see, I'm going a lot like sloppier with it, but I feel like that lets me work faster, and it also actually like lets the drawing like evolve a bit better. I feel like when I'm trying to make it like the perfect line art from the start, it's a lot of pressure, so yeah, that's the method changed. But yeah, that's pretty much our little demon guy. But yeah, let's meet Sparx. I think the colors really brought it together here. I love the way the black and the reds play together and like the green eyes. I also went ahead and gave it like that black inner, more dark burnt face. I feel like that also did a lot for like kind of that readability that it's like an exploded out face. Also with the name, I was going back and forth because immediately when I see a character, I usually have a name, and for him it was Sparx, but I didn't like the KS spelling. And when I did the X, I thought that worked a lot better because it just makes him a little bit more unique. And I also think X for explosions like really works out really well. That was a lot of reallys. But yeah, I'm thinking he is probably one of our least vital characters to Doodletown introduced so far. Like he doesn't have a storefront or anything like that. He's just this little demon that will kind of show up when there's explosive activities happening, like fireworks or forks near electrical outlets or something like that. But yeah, he's just kind of like a little nuisance kind of character, maybe even villainous at times, but not like a major villain, like very like low level goblin kind of vibes. But yeah, I like him a lot. I feel like he's really simple, but just like the small touches, I think the colors and even like the horns having that little burnt tips too, I think really helped him out a lot. I was really worried because I felt like he is kind of the weakest of the bunch, but I still think there's actually kind of a lot of appeal to him. And he's actually a character I would have really loved as a kid. Like I really like these kind of like edgy gremlin type of characters. So yeah, we have welcomed 4 new characters into the world of Doodletown. I think the winners for me today are definitely Tom and Fanning. Tom being number 1, Fanning being number 2. I think Hercules and Sparx is actually kind of tied for me. I feel like Hercules is a more interesting character, but Sparx just kind of has like that demon mischievous personality that I like a lot. But overall, I feel really good about this batch. I'm not sure if it's just like the emoji combinations or maybe I'm getting a better feel for it, but I'm feeling really good about these 4. But yeah, let me know if you have any favorites from these, or if these characters win out from the last ones, or whatever your thoughts are. And for a bonus today, I'll also be showcasing another Doodletown character that isn't actually going to be living in Doodletown like the rest of them. It's going to be my little avatar, my little Doodle Sona. So this is him. He actually comes in many forms. He's a transforming kind of ghost character, but these are the 3 forms that he primarily takes. So in the Doodletown universe, he's kind of this all-powerful character, and he works and lives in a space called the Infinity Room, which is this magical place that exists in a dimension beyond the Doodletown world. And in this room is where he's pretty much holed up all the time, drawing and creating, and all his little drawings and creations turn to real things to populate the world below, which is Doodletown. And yeah, he does have the power to actually transport down to Doodletown and visit, but he is a ghost, so he is invisible to it all, and he doesn't like interact like directly. At least that's my thinking currently. I might change that up as we go. But yeah, he mainly stays in the Infinity Room, and occasionally he'll also invite other powerful characters to join him in the Infinity Room and create more things, characters for Doodletown. But yeah, that's my little guy. His name's Benny. Just like my channel name, spelled B-E-N-K-I-P-O, Benny. Yes, the K, the P, and the O are silent. Alright, and that's it for another Doodletown video. I hope you enjoyed the new characters introduced today. The Doodle Sona of, basically the self-insert of my own being into the Doodletown universe. But yeah, thanks for watching. Alright, I will see you in the next one, okay? Promise? Pinky swear? Pinky swear? All right, you swore, so you gotta tune in for the next one, okay? You swore. I didn't make you. Okay, see ya. Bye.